Blessed day, everyone. May I present to everybody my final output in qualitative research as a requirement in compliance to the subject mentioned for passing. As a student of Sorsogon State College, School of Graduate Studies, as Doctor of Education in Educational Leadership and Management. Before I start my video presentation, let me introduce first myself. I'm Jocelyn Montales, Head Teacher 1 and presently assigned at Cabugao National High School, Cabugao, Sorsogon as teacher in charge where I conducted my study. My dear classmates, let me give you a brief information of our school. Aside from the distance of 20 kilometers from Luzon proper to our school, the ultimate means of transportation is by way of land. They make use of motorcycle or habal-habal to reach the place. This is a small barangay, but people are industrious when it comes to farming. Students of this place are eager to finish their studies despite of the actual distance that they traveled before reaching the school from their respective houses. At present, because of the new normal situation in education, teachers are the ones visiting the students to their respective houses to deliver the learning materials they needed and conducted the monitoring of the school. To start my presentation, the title of my study is Management Style, referred by Cabugao National High School teachers in response to the new normal education for school year 2020-2021. For the local of the study, the participants of this study are the 15 secondary teachers of Cabugao National High School, Cabugao, Sorsogon. Most of them came from the different municipalities of Sorsogon. For the introduction, education must continue. This is in accordance to the DepEd personnel that, as educators, we must inculcate to the mind of our learners that amidst this pandemic we are experiencing nowadays is not an hindrance to stop the learners to continue their studies and learn something that would enhance their skills. Management plays the most important role in determining the success and failure of an organization. School is no excuse in such scenario to the present situation. That is why the study of what makes effective schools dominated much of educational research in general. Many of these studies handle the principal's leadership in enhancing organizational activities. Based on the DepEd Order Number 12, Series of 2020, adoption of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan for school year 2020 to 2021 in the light of the COVID-19 public health emergency, in order to provide clear guidance to all offices, units, schools, and community learning centers of the Department of Education, learners and their parents and stakeholders. The department developed a Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, BA-LCP, a package of educational intervention that will respond to the basic education challenges brought about by the COVID-19. In developing the BA-LCP, DepEd engaged internal and external stakeholders for inputs in the design of the learning delivery strategy and operational direction that ensure the health, safety, and well-being of all learners, teachers, and personnel in the department. As mentioned, delivery modalities for school year 2020 to 2021. There were suggested modalities that can be used by the school. It depends on the location of the school, as long as it follows the health protocols mandated by the Interagency Task Force or the IATF and other health protocols. The modalities are modular distance learning or the MDL learning, delivery that is in the form of individualized instruction where learners use self-learning modules or the SLMS. This is in print learners engaged in independent learning at home or in any physical learning space applicable. By using learning materials that are accessible in printed form while being geographically distant from the teacher. The second one is the online distance learning or the ODL. This is a learning delivery modality where the teacher facilitates learning and engages learners' active participation using various technologies connected to the internet while they are geographically removed from each other. The third one is the base instruction or the TVBI. This refers to the use of television channels or station dedicated to providing the learning content to learners as a form of distance education. This may not be considered as a sole learning delivery modality, as it usually combined with face-to-face learning or other forms of distance learning, such as the modular distance learning or the online radio-based instruction or the RBI, which refers to the use of radio programs or stations dedicated to providing learning content to learners as a form of distance education. This also may not be considered as a sole learning delivery modality, as it is usually combined with face-to-face learning or other forms of distance learning, such as modular distance learning or online learning. And the last one is the blended distance learning. This is any combination of the modular distance learning, online distance learning, TV-based instruction, or the radio-based instruction. So, because of the changes in the teaching learning process, the researcher viewed to the learning delivery modalities at this time, teachers should prepare their desired management style to use and necessary be considered by the school head on what strategies to be employed by students in response to the new normal education. If the teachers would consider the multiple intelligences and individual differences of the students in the success of the learning programs. The principal should also put the likes and dislikes of the teachers in managing the present situation and use them in carrying out their task. Only then, the subordinates will find a lighter and happier way to give unconditional respect and innovations to the school leader. That is why this study was such. For the objectives, the purpose of this study is to determine the management style preferred by Cabugao National High School teachers in response to the new normal education for school year 2020 to 2021. Specifically, this study aims to answer the following questions. Number 1. What are the positive and negative reinforcement being applied by the teachers in dealing with the students? reinforcement, 8 were positive, and the other 8 were negative. The researcher tabulated and analyzed the responses using frequency count, ranking, and percentage. Let's come now to the results and discussion. Based on the result of data gathered, the teachers in Cabugao National High School wanted to be smiled every time they visited a student as positive reinforcement. A smile creates a friendly atmosphere that enables that teacher to work at ease and perform their duties with a happy heart. It costs nothing therefore to the teachers, where they should always wear a smile in dealing with the students to promote camaraderie and collaboration with the teachers. Further revealed that the student wanted to feel that the teachers were proud of them and being them for what they did in school. It is also noteworthy that among the 15 teachers, nobody wanted any negative reinforcement to be applied to the students in the sense that they are experiencing different challenges in coping up with the new learning modalities. All respondents also wanted a democratic kind of management style for them to be able to understand by the students whatever the lesson to be delivered. This implied that the teachers wanted to be involved in every decision making. Among the reasons that they have given in choosing democratic style is that when the decision is made by a collaborative effort, all mind, it leads to a better outcome. They also noted that in doing so, they feel their worst by helping the leader, and they also have the sense of belonging. According to Shruti, the PAL 2020, faculty across the country stood up in the challenging task of not only transitioning and adapting the online modes of instruction, but also multitasking through learning new technology, advising, having online office hours, attending official meetings, responding to students who would request Zoom meetings outside of office hours, and much more. Everyone came together with one underlying motive: students benefit. So, we need to make decisions based on a long-term perspective. Faculty needs to walk a tightrope of keeping students motivated while not letting their own moral down. Based on Daydrich Jennifer 2010, positive reinforcement is often used to effectively teach student age-appropriate behaviors and social skills when these behaviors and skills are lacking, as these deficits can create disruption in the classroom. Positive reinforcement is the presentation of a reward immediately following a desired behavior intended to make that behavior more likely to occur in the future. Research conducted by Control 2000 found that teachers can improve their overall classroom environment in addition to increasing positive interactions with students by effectively implementing positive reinforcement, including praise. Praise is a specific type of positive reinforcement many teachers regularly use in their classrooms when interacting with students. One aspect of teaching is educators' abilities to effectively manage their students' behaviors. Many teachers' education programs expose to pre-service teacher numerous strategies for managing students' behaviors, because the most challenging aspect of teaching continues to be classroom management and discipline. This is are expected of them. Some of educators believe that it is not their responsibility to provide incentives for students. They feel that this is the job of the parent. As for the conclusions of the study, management seems to be the most operational tool of influencing people so that they strive willingly and enthusiastically towards the accomplishment of goals. Teachers design motivation systems not only to encourage students to perform in the most effective way to cooperate with the new learning modalities in the delivery of the lesson. However, when it comes to what management style is to be improved, it would be wise to consider what the subjects wanted to be. The management style preferred by Cabugao National High School teachers is the diplomatic type of managing the students and dealing with the new strategies in the delivery of the lesson so that they can be able to learn and the learners can give their ideas and opinions on the process of teaching and learning during this pandemic time. The teachers also wanted to be smiled every time they visited to monitor the students if they are doing their assigned tasks or activities in the given individual learning modules. As for the recommendations of this study recommends that the teacher should be involved in every decision making. Among the reasons they have given in choosing democratic style is that when the decision is made by a collaborative effort of mind, it will lead to better. This result will be carefully considered by the researcher in managing the students. Furthermore, it is also recommended that teachers should exercise the human considerations towards the learning process as a student may not fulfill the task given to them in this new normal situation. For the impact or outcomes, these are my references. Thank you for watching.